You'll be fine.
You already.
It's fine.
It's fine. Okay.
Yes. What's your name?
Oh, my name is Kaya Martin.
So, do you agree with tattoos in the workplace?
I do for the most part, yeah.
Okay. And, like, why do you say for the most part?
Because in general, people get tattoos because, like, they want them, and, like, everyone with their own opinions, it's fine, that's them. But some aren't necessarily, like, children appropriate. So, like, if you have a man or a woman with, like, these arms full of, like, tattoos, it's fine. But if there's, like, a child inappropriate one, then maybe not have them work at, like, a child area, you know? Like a Chuck E. Cheese. Or, I don't know, where, like, it can be seen by children. So, that's just why.
Why do you think it should or should not be allowed at work? Or, like, tattoos to be shown at work?
I mean, I think it should be up to the person who has the tattoo if they want to show it or not. I know places say it's unprofessional, but I don't see how it is. It's just the person, you know? A tattoo doesn't affect the work ethic.
Yeah, it just kind of, like, tells, like, their story, or, you know, like, there's some people that get, like, tattoos just for whatever reason, but then there's, like, other people that, like, get tattoos because there's a story behind them.
Exactly.
And, like, yeah. Okay. I was trying to think of, like, something to add on to it, but what do you, like, personally think about tattoos?
I love tattoos. They're like so cool. I want to get one at some point, but yeah, they're so pretty. I'll see a server or, like, a waitress like reach out to, like, grab a plate or something, and there's a tattoo. I'm just immediately like, oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So
so what if a person... Okay. Do you think that people with tattoos should have to cover up tattoos at work, and why do you think so?
Honestly, I don't think they need to, except for, like, what I said earlier, if they're working in a child main area, like daycare, maybe not have an inappropriate tattoo showing. So maybe if you have one, cover that one up, but otherwise you don't really need to.
I can just, like, imagine, like, this whole sleeve of, like, tattoo or, like, artwork, and then just, like, this one blocked out foundation on your arm. Okay. What if they have controversial, like, tattoos, and what would you do then? Or, like, what would you think about them then?
When you say controversial, what do you mean? Because anything can be controversial to anyone.
Like, there was this, like, girl on TikTok that had, like, her, like, native, like, country's, like, flag on her arm, and a lot of people were, like, saying that it's controversial, or, like, I was gonna say, like, the Nazi symbol, but, like, I don't really want to bring that up.
Okay.
But, like, at the same time, it's part of, like, history, and it's part of, like, where we, like, not rooted from, but, like, just kind of, like, if you're a history geek, I could completely see where, like, you can get all these historical tattoos from.
Right.
But, like, what if, like, it's controversial in, you know, like, the setting that you're in?
Well, usually, even if you are a history buff, you're not gonna, and you want a tattoo, you're not gonna get something that means something bad. Like, you know it's bad, so you're not gonna get something that means something bad.
Yeah.
For the girl, she had her native flag on it. That's fine. I mean, that's the native flag of where she lives. That shouldn't be controversial. That's just appreciation, basically.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, anything can be controversial. Someone could have a tattoo of a cross, and that could upset
Yeah.
someone who doesn't believe in God.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, well, if you get offended by it, but like that person isn't saying anything to you, they're not pushing their agenda on you, then keep your offendedness to yourself. You don't need to like say something about it. So it doesn't really like, you know?
Yeah. And another like controversial thing is like people have like rainbows or like LGBTQ flags on like their arms and stuff like that, and like everybody could like just say something about that too.
Right.
And it's just like, is it really necessary?
No.
So, and I don't think they should have to cover it. Like, this is just putting my opinion into it. I don't think they should have to cover it up because it's something on their body that means something to them.
Right.
And if you don't like it, then it's just kind of like,
Right.
keep it to yourself.
But there's a difference between having a tattoo that you're proud of and that you like, and then not like putting it in people's faces and like and having it be controversial, versus and like someone else saying something versus you literally taking your controversial tattoo or whatever, throwing it in people's faces like, oh hey, see, I got this, what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
Like there is a difference between that.
You gotta know, like, when people ask you about it, you could just be like, oh, you can, like, do you want the in-depth story of it?
Right.
Or do you want, like, the kind of just, like, blunt end of it? And just, like, kind of strain from there to see, like, what conversations you could have with it.
Exactly.
What would you do if you or somebody that you knew had a controversial tattoo, like a pride flag or, you know, a native flag of a country that you're from, and somebody said something rude or disrespectful about it while you were in a work meeting or a setting that was within, like, the workplace or, like, with a client?
Well, I don't find those to be controversial, especially like the native flag. Like I can understand how people would find like a rainbow flag to be controversial, but if someone said something and they're being rude, I will wait for the person they're being rude to. Like, let's say it was my sister, I'd let her say something. If she didn't, if she's not gonna say anything, not gonna defend herself, not gonna do anything, then I'll step in. Otherwise, I don't really think I need to, unless I need to. You know, if it starts, especially if it's a client, it's like, sorry, refusal of service because you're being rude to either a worker or my sister. Like, that's not okay.
But, like, what if the client or somebody refuses to work with the person who has said tattoo?
Work with different shifts. I mean, it's how the person acts.
Yeah.
You need to, part of it is going to go based off that, because people are either going to be nice about it and say like, hey, this offends me, I don't know if I can work with this person because of it, or that's not my lifestyle and I just don't know if I can be around it. Then, like, you know, as a boss, you should be able to move some things around to accommodate that.
Yeah. I definitely think that clients should be more open-minded, because we're like so close-minded now. Of like, with everything that's going on lately, everything's just like so close-minded.
I think it's more the older generation. Older generation doesn't want to see workers with that, versus us who are fine with tattoos, who see them everywhere.
I definitely think also, like, I don't know, people have become
Censoring?
Very censored, and like, I don't know how to put this, like, very
Controlling, almost?
not controlling, but like very, what's the word that I'm trying to find?
That's a good question.
Like, everything could take everybody off.
Yeah.
With nothing. Like, you get so mad and upset about something so easily
Mhm.
that there's nothing really like for it, you know,
Right.
like, and there's nothing to be censored about either. Like,
Mhm.
it's just people are very close-minded now
Mhm.
than because of like, you know, abuse that could happen, like stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's just like where do we draw the line of being
Right.
too
Not every-
snowflake-ish?
Yeah.
What do you think companies should be more open-minded about when it comes to tattoos?
I think showing them, I feel like should be more open-minded. Like I get them having like a uniform policy, but if that's gonna show arms and it's gonna show tattoos on arms, then I feel like they should be more open to that.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on what kind of company are they dealing with, kids again, like it goes back to like that, because you don't want to have kids be seen like bad, inappropriate things.
Yeah.
So I think they should just be more open with in general with it, just like showing it, having it be there. Many people get them, and yeah, I mean,
I definitely know that like us two want tattoos. And
Mhm.
like I'm pretty sure like a bunch of people I know in like the school have tattoos and stuff like that. It's just
Mhm.
like
oh yeah.
it's not gonna go away anytime soon. If
Exactly.
anything, it's just gonna expand more.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for interviewing me.